we can't afford to accept that our treaties are not going to be honored. It's unacceptable. And last week, listening to all of the chiefs during the assembly, it was really encouraging to hear them all stand up in defiance and say, okay, well, enough is enough. And so something needs to be done, and action is starting to take place. And by honoring our own treaties, what the end result is that we had to give up all of our land. And so the abundance that Canada enjoys in terms of being a world economy is on account of the resources that have been extracted from the land. And so, we always understood, I think early on, that to be so-called Indian in this country we were always under attack. And it dates back to the White Paper Act in 1969, and there's been just one attempt after another if there was no Indians in this country, there would be no Indian land claims. Right now we're standing on Algonquin territory, and Algonquin people are hosting us, and they have welcomed Chief Spence to be here. They all stand in full support of her decision, and it's sad that at this time, 2012, that one of our leaders has to say, she's willing to die because we need to make sure that the government is going to be honorable in its dealings regarding our rights and regarding our treaties. Because it's clear, like I said, we've lived up to our treaty obligations, and if we didn't, we were subjected to residential schools and a whole legacy of government policy and efforts to try to eradicate us or annihilate us, dismiss us. And so I stand with the chief, and I think members of this department will tell you. He was just here a minute ago. He was one of the courageous ones in the House to invite the chiefs and welcome them at the House of Commons so that he could talk to the Prime Minister and the rest of the members of the government. And the reaction was that they were forced back by the security. And that's intolerable, and we're not going to take that anymore. And we're just happy to have the leadership that Chief Spence is demonstrating, and there's a lot of young people that are in full support of us.
Can I get your name, sorry?
Cliff Summers.
How do you spell it?
Summers.
And you're a resident back in Attawapiskat?
I'm from the United Nation of the 10, which is one of the Haudenosaunee communities, members of the Six Nations near London. But I've lived in Ottawa, and I've worked here for the last dozen years or so. And I spent a long year working in prisons, dealing with the fact that there's a real demonstrated injustice towards our people, and the result is that we are overrepresented in prisons. And so, every effort that we make is to try to help and support other people to deal with the issues that we have to confront every day.
History would suggest, though, that Mr. Harper isn't one to give in on something like this, that he isn't likely to say, okay, we'll give you what you want because of what Chief Spence is doing. Are there other chiefs or other actions that could be coming?
There's a whole movement. There's a whole movement of our young people that are, definitely going to say, well, if you don't honor and respect us, then you're going to have to deal with us one way or another. We sadly had to bury one of our great leaders, Jim Sinclair, and he announced years ago at the meeting of the First Ministers Conferences that, if you don't deal with our people honorably and respectfully, then you're going to have to deal with our young people. And so our young people are starting to organize, and like I said, there's, I think, from what I understand, about 20 other events that are taking place across the country. And so, we know that he's not one to back down, but if he wants to have the blood on his hands of one of our chiefs who are willing to die to defend our rights, then
Have an uprising.
that's it's shameful. Thank you.
Can you spell the name of your First Nation?
Have a rough
Oneida
uprising if
is,
that shit
O-
happens, that's for
Idea,
sure.
Oneida Nation.
And do you
I kinda get where she's coming
Uh,
from.
No, I don't.